Hey everyone, today we're going to be making a life-size Severus Snape cutout like the one you see looming behind me right now. And I also have 3 giveaway winners to announce at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Now, this DIY was requested like once, I think, in the comments to my videos, and I cannot find the comment. I don't know who made the suggestion, so if it was you, definitely let me know below. I'm sorry if it was you who suggested this. Thank you. It was a really fun project to do. It was also one of the most unique things that somebody asked me to make, is a life-size cutout of Severus Snape. So hey, I figured I'd just do it because it sounded fun. Now, you can buy these for about $65. I couldn't find it any cheaper, and that's before shipping. So it's kind of expensive to buy a life-size Severus Snape. So if you want one, if you want to be like the Bakey or something, then you can go ahead and make one based on the templates that I'm going to provide in this video. It's in the description box below. You'll find the free templates, also a list of supplies for what you'll need to make this DIY. Now let's get started. First, go ahead and print out the templates that I provided. Now there should be 11 by 17 and 8.5 by 11 templates. I'm using the 11 by 17 templates because this is going to make things a lot easier in the long run. So just print them all out. If you're using the smaller 8.5 by 11 size, you're gonna have more to kind of piece together. But yeah, so I recommend using the larger size. Also, if you're printing on A4 paper, you can use the 8.5 by 11 inch paper, just choose the scale to fit option. And if you're printing on A3 paper, you can use the 11 by 17 templates. So basically, when we cut these out, we're going to use a ruler and X-Acto knife, and we're also going to use a pair of scissors. Any straight edges you want to cut with the ruler and X-Acto knife in order to get that straight edge, but then the outside where it's just like, you know, not straight, you can use scissors on that part. So I'll just go over cutting this out very briefly. Go ahead and take your ruler, line it up with the straight edge that you want to cut. Take your X-Acto knife and cut right along that edge. And then you should have a perfectly straight edge. And then once you have the straight edges cut off, you can use your scissors just to cut along the not straight edge. So there we go, we have Snape's shoulder. Now go ahead and cut everything else out, just like this. Now I've cut out all of my pieces of Snape. So you just kind of remember what order these pieces go in as you're cutting them and keep them in that order. Or you can just kind of put it together at the end like a puzzle. It shouldn't be that difficult. There's only 15 pieces. But they're also labeled on the back. So there's going to be 3 columns. His left side, middle, and right side going from top to bottom. So this is B1. So this would be the top of the middle side. And then you know, it would go B2, B3, B4, all the way down. And that's how I kind of labeled them. So if you need help putting it together, you can kind of reference what's on the back of them. But what we want to do next is, I mean, I guess you could just kind of put this together on your wall if you want. Just put Snape up on your wall. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to glue this to some cardboard and make an actual standing cardboard cutout of Snape. To do that, we need cardboard. Lots of cardboard, and I got these just for free. This is just leftover cardboard from a store, so you can maybe go to a store and tell them you need some cardboard boxes and ask if they have any, and that's how you could get some free cardboard. These are just box lids that I'm going to use. So I'll just take one of these pieces of cardboard, place it here, and then I'm going to take one of my pieces, glue it on, and then cut it out. And I'm just going to use a glue stick for this. It doesn't really matter if you go off of the paper onto the cardboard because we're just going to be, you know, cutting this out anyway. And flip it over and glue it down onto the cardboard. Now when we cut this out a second time to cut the cardboard off, you're just going to cut along the same lines that you cut along before. And again, on the straight parts, you're going to want to use your X-Acto knife. And just to cut all the way through the cardboard, you are definitely going to want to go over this more than once, maybe like 3 times. And then of course for the parts that aren't straight lines, you can just use your scissors again. And now I have Snape's shoulder done. And yeah, you're gonna wanna do this with all of the pieces that you cut out. And then your scrap cardboard you wanna hold on to because we'll be using some of this a little later. Now you should have all of your pieces of Snape cut out and glued onto cardboard. And I know which ones are which because I went ahead and labeled them as I was going. So I checked the back to see what was the number on it. This is A1, so that I know this is my first piece, and this is A2, so I know it goes right below A1. So that's how I'm going to know how to put them together just in case they get mixed up. I kept them in order just to make it easier on myself. So we'll set these aside, and you should have a ton of scrap pieces of cardboard. You want to get the ones that are, you know, in the best condition for this, because this is how we're going to piece Snape together. We're going to use a hot glue gun, and then we're just going to take a couple of pieces, and then we're going to just hot glue them on top of this back piece. So this is going to be kind of like a bracing piece to hold this together. And we're just going to do that. So the back of this isn't going to look that great, but who cares? It's just cardboard. The front is what we want to look nice. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. So I've got my hot glue gun heated up. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some hot glue here. So that should stick pretty well. And you are going to go through a lot of hot glue. Just so you know, make sure that you have enough to glue this whole thing together. So there, we have a very small part of Snape completed. Now, you're just going to want to do this with all of your pieces. Now, I've got a lot of this glued down already onto this cardboard, but as you can see, there are some parts that are kind of don't have anything bracing them. So I've cut off some smaller pieces of cardboard, which I'll glue on here to reinforce those cracks in here. We don't want any cracks, so you want to glue pieces of cardboard behind it in all those spots, because that will weaken this whole thing. And now we have Snape completely assembled. So the back of it should look something like this. It looks like a boarded up window during a zombie apocalypse, but that's okay because we're not going to be looking at the back of this very often. And the very last thing we need to do is make a kind of a piece on the back, like a big long brace that goes all the way up the back of this, so that we can actually stand the cardboard cutout up. And to do that, we're going to use cardboard, of course, and I've cut out like just a bunch of these little pieces that kind of have a flap on them like this, so that they bend. And then I have one that's a lot bigger. This is going to go at the bottom, so this part will be at the floor, and it's just going to glue onto the back of the Snape cutout like this. And then I'll glue another one on like this, and then so on and so forth all the way up the back of this. And we're gonna attach these together so that they alternate where this flap is. This is the part that I'm gonna be gluing to the back of here. So one flap will be on this side, and then the other one will be on this side, and then the next one will be back on this side again. We're just gonna go back and forth until this can run all the way up the back of Snape's cutout. And we're attaching this all together, again, with hot glue. Now this whole stand is ready to go. These flaps here will glue onto the back of our cardboard cutout. Alan Rickman was 6'1", so that's how tall this cutout is going to be. So that's how tall this brace is going to be. So before we glue these down onto the back of our cardboard cutout, we need to take a look at this very bottom piece, which is, this is the big piece, the larger piece of cardboard. And then we're just going to cut it at an angle here. Not too much of an angle, but just enough so that our cardboard cutout will kind of tilt back a little bit, like sit at a slight angle. This does need to be a straight line because it's going to be sitting on the ground, and this is what's going to help it stand up. You don't want to cut the flap itself, but just this larger part. So I'm going to go right from where that flap starts, right here, and probably about to right here. And I'm going to use a ruler and X-Acto knife to make sure that it's a straight line. And now we're ready to glue these flaps onto the back of our cardboard cutout, and then we should be done. As you can see, I've glued this one down here on the bottom, and then I'm going to glue this one down next, right here. And then we're just going to do that and work our way all the way up to where the head is. And then when we're done, Snape should stand up, about 6 feet tall, and the back of it should look like this. My Snape pop-up might be too much of an angle. I'd say you can see it's kind of like, you know, quite a big angle there. So maybe it should be a bit more like that. So I may have made too much of an angle at the bottom. So maybe you could hold off on cutting that bottom part at an angle until you get it onto the cardboard cutout, just so that you can test about how much of an angle you want them to sit at. But yep, there's your life-size Snape cutout. All right, and I usually do giveaways for what I make in my videos. Pretty much every single video, I just give away what I make. But in this one, it's gonna be a little hard to ship a life-size Severus Snape without folding it up. And I mean, I wouldn't be able to ship it in any practical way. So what I'm gonna do for this giveaway is I will mail you the printed templates so that you can put one together yourself. And these are gonna be professionally printed, so they're gonna look really nice. So if you're interested in winning the templates for this Severus Snape cutout, go ahead and click on the weekly giveaway link in the description box below. And now to announce 3 winners to 3 of my previous giveaways. The first one we're going to announce is for the Ministry of Magic memo, which is like a paper airplane that we folded up and put some gold leaf on the tip to make it kind of a shiny gold texture. And the winner is Lily Harding. Congratulations, and I have sent you an email with instructions on how to claim your prize. Next up, we have the Ministry of Magic ID card, and this will be completely customized for the winner, so you'll have to send me your photo and your name, and we'll go ahead and make this based on your information. And the winner is Shivani Verma. And last but certainly not least, we have the 13K giveaway winner, and the prize for this was the Monster Book of Monsters that I made a few videos ago. The winner of the Monster Book of Monsters is the Red Robin. Congratulations, and I have sent you an email as well, so go ahead and respond. Let me know your address so that I can get these prizes out to you. Remember, I get a lot of ideas for these DIYs that I do from your comments. So if you have an idea for something that you want to see me do in the future, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. If you're interested in seeing more DIY videos having to do with Harry Potter and more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.